Thank you for being here. I believe I'm your last questioner. So
I don't think so.
one more? Oh, you got one more. Okay. Well, nevertheless, I'm your next to last. And I want to ask you, as I'm sure you're aware, on another subcommittee that I serve on, we had EPA Administrator Regan before us just a couple of days ago, just the other day. And it's my understanding that the Department of Energy and the EPA have signed a joint memorandum of understanding on electric reliability. And that your announcement of this MOU highlights the challenges of transitioning to clean energy. But you know, I find it interesting, since that MOU was announced in March, it seems like the EPA has announced as many new rules or changes that it can that would threaten grid reliability. I mean, just today, EPA announced a new power plan rule that's going to put significant new requirements on our baseload generation. I'm really concerned about this. This is after a holiday season that saw 9 states experience blackouts and brownouts. I mean, even in the state of Georgia, fortunately, we didn't have any blackouts or brownouts, but the EMCs tell me that we were at peak capacity, that we could not have done any more than what we did. And we're a growing state. My district is a growing state. Just had the largest economic development project ever announced in the district, in the state of Georgia. And so we're growing, and we're going to need reliability. We're going to need that in our state, and the rest of the country is going to need it as well. Last week, FERC Commissioner Mark Christie said that the problem is not the addition of intermittent resources, but the rapid subtraction of dispatchable resources like coal and gas. He also said, and I quote, "The U.S. is heading for a reliability crisis because dispatchable generating resources are retiring far too quickly and in quantities that threaten our ability to keep the lights on," unquote. Do you agree that the U.S. is heading for a reliability crisis?
No, I think we have to do it right. And I think that's why...
Do you think we're doing it right?
Well, I think what the EPA rule did was to say we want to reduce emissions, and it didn't say how. We have been working on all of this technology to decarbonize. And whether it's coal or natural gas, we want clean baseload power. I heard a number of members of this side of the aisle say this is about emissions. So let's work on that. Let's decarbonize and allow for baseload power to exist.
Well, I'm encouraged to hear you say that, because I believe that. I don't believe it's about fewer choices. I believe it's about less carbon.
And more
not
technology.
Less choices. So I'm encouraged to hear you say that, but then I see the rules that are being implemented here by the EPA that concern me, because it is putting our grid reliability at risk here. You know, I had the opportunity to go to Europe last year as a member of the Conservative Climate Caucus, and we saw and witnessed in Europe what has happened there, and they have allowed their policies to get ahead of their innovation, resulting in a mess, to be quite honest with you. They closed down their nuclear plants and ended up going back to coal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are important lessons to be learned there, and I certainly hope we're paying attention and learning those lessons.
Yeah, we certainly are, and I agree with you. We have to be thoughtful about this transition.
But, you know, again, the Biden administration has said that by 2030, they want 80% renewable energy. And right now, you said it's how much of our portfolio?
We want to get to 100% by 2035 with an 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay. And what are we at right now?
In terms of, we are at, in terms of clean, we have 20% that is nuclear, we have 20% that is renewable.
Are you still confident that that's an achievable goal?
I am, because of the policies that were just adopted. I know you didn't vote for them, but they're incentivizing.
And I'm not going to vote for them, because I believe that we are going to make the same mistake that they made in Europe and allow our policies to get ahead of our innovation, and we can't do that. We can't afford to do that. Look, I would submit to you, Madam Secretary, that what has happened in our economy is a direct result of the policies of this administration. It's self-inflicted. Day one, this administration declared war on fossil fuels, resulting in higher gas prices, resulting in higher inflation, resulting in higher interest rates, and now we've got the problems that we've got here. Whereas my colleague just pointed out, we've got an abundance of oil here. We've got an abundance. And again, here we are in a nation that has decreased our carbon emissions more in the last decade than the next 12 countries combined, while growing our economy.
And we are still a record producer of oil and of natural gas. So declaring war has not happened. In fact, we are at record production.
We are at record production, but we can do even better is the point. And we don't need to decrease choices, we need to decrease carbon. That's what we should be doing.
Let's work on it.
Madam Secretary, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And I am willing to work on it with you, and I look forward to that.
Great.
Gentleman's time's expired, and I'll go to the last Congresswoman of the day, Ms. Barragan, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, I have been here for a short time, but